I am kind of back in the locker room. I guess that's what they say you miss. You know what? I'm glad that I'm not in one of these locker rooms with the Lions or the Giants in these teams' practices. Every 5 minutes we have a new clip come up of a new fight. Malik Neighbors, he's going at it, man. These guys are battling right here. You see this happened this morning, right, guys?
Yeah. Just happened.
This fight, look at it. I mean, there's legit punches being thrown. This is a real fight. This isn't one of those things like, hey, let's bump chests and let's act like we want to fight. We're actually going at it. Both these teams, man. Unreal here. So what? This Kirby Joseph and Malik Neighbors in one of these, but this is just a continuation of what happened yesterday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yesterday we saw two big scrums, and then we got another one today. Usually you don't see like these type of real fights. You maybe see one, maybe two, but then when it carries over to the next day, I feel like at this point, let's get it under control. Dave's and MCDC. It's a little too much at this point. You obviously want to get something out of these joint practices. These teams actually play on Thursday, but when you're just fighting every other period, it seems, I think that's a little too much. You want to see some football. We have seen a lot of good Daniel Jones to Malik Neighbors, though. That's been good. And I know Foxy might be a little bit worried about that Lions secondary so far, what we've seen.
Yeah, he should be worried, too. No one kind of came to the defense of Amon-Ra St. Brown here, which is a little interesting, Foxy? But
I love what the boys are doing. MCDC boys are always going to fight, and if they aren't fighting, that's when I get worried. So I love everything about Lions camp so far.
The other angle, too. I don't know if we have the other angle of the Kirby Joseph Malik Neighbors fight. It just came out, but Malik Neighbors was not asking for it, but he was fully expecting a fight.
Yeah, he instigated it big time. Yeah, without a doubt.
Mush and then ran off. Don't love that, but I do love the Kirby Joseph response. And Terion Arnold, who kind of started that fight the day before. You mentioned it earlier when you first walked in, him setting that edge, him making a play right there. Hopefully he bodes well for that Lions secondary this year.
Yeah, Foxy, I don't know if we have that clip, but Terion Arnold, he came up and he set the edge, and it was an absolute collision. I believe they said he's not concussed, or was he evaluated for concussion?
Evaluated.
Watch number 0 right here come up here. He does his job. He sends the ball back to his other 10 teammates. That's a nasty shot. He was able to stay on his feet and force the ball back inside. I thought it was a great play, especially by a rookie, especially by a corner who's going to stick his nose in there and set the edge on an absolute mammoth.
You can definitely make a business decision there and take the easy way out. Just go out, hey, coach, I sent them inside out. But like you said, setting that hard edge and making that ball cut up the field, that's big time for defenders. Love to see it, man. We are close to some real football.
Did he earn his stripes there? Like, he doesn't have to do that again now that he's a rookie? Like, hey, we get it. You don't have to do this anymore?
The A.J. Hawks of the world get paid to set edges and make tackles. The Darius Butlers and Terion Arnolds of the world get paid to cover and get their hands on the ball. So if he wants to play a long time in the league, he'll try not to do that as much as possible.
Not in practice, at least. If you're going to use it, you got to use that in the game. But also, some guys are wearing Guardian caps, some guys aren't. I know quarterbacks don't wear them if you're not hitting in practice. But what's the deal? Do you have to wear them? Are they mandatory?
I thought they were, especially on the offensive and defensive lines. I thought that was the whole I'm
not out here trying to be a snitch or something.
No,
I don't think anybody. I don't like them at all. I don't like anybody wearing them. But it's just funny to see this.
Well, and it also looks weird when everyone else is wearing them, but he doesn't, and then he's leading with his head going right in. I don't know, but maybe it is an individual decision. But I was under the impression that all offensive and defensive linemen had to wear them because they have the most head-to-head contact.
Play. Yeah. There's a situation as far as Malik Neighbors, right? He's talking about. I don't know if there's probably video's probably not even out there yet.
Yeah, here it is.
He's talking about something. I think Foxy and the boys in the back found a way. Here we go. Let's see Malik Neighbors kind of talking about the fights.
It's hot. We competing. Stuff like that's gonna happen. It's football at the end of the day. He did, but I'm not going to repeat it.
Looks like he kind of, it was a contested play and Arnold was in coverage, right? He kind of tapped him on the helmet coming up, and it looked like maybe he objected to that. And he thought that was
objected.
Kind of
oh no, it's the competitive me and Arnold. We talk almost every day about just competing, how great we want to be. So it's nothing against him. He's my brother, so I'm gonna give him the work he needs. He's gonna give me the work I need. But it was just I was tapping him on the helmet. Good play. That's all it was.
Good one.
And then, somebody comes up, running up to me, said a few words, and rest is that. I mean, it's hot.
I like this, Steve. And for my first time seeing this, I think this is the right way to handle it. He's not trying to gaslight it and make it a bigger thing than it was. He's kind of giving him respect, right?
Yeah, just basically what we said. It's hot. It's a dog day.
Yep.
This sucks.
Talking a little shit. Kirby Joseph probably ran and said something, to him in passing. He obviously took offense to that. But the most important thing, we see Malik Neighbors making plays. We see Arnold making a play on that play. And you do get competitive. And the Giants, I know Bruce could probably speak to this, but they're looking for a guy like this. That's why they drafted Malik Neighbors, not only to do what he's doing on the field, but to kind of have somebody on that offense who, got that dog in him. And obviously he's going to make plays. He's going to have stuff to say. I played with Steve Smith. Steve Smith was kind of similar. Rarely do you have like a wide receiver who's kind of going to set the tone and be kind of that dog on the team or the offense. So I like what I've seen from Malik Neighbors. Once again, don't want to see, team scrums and guys throwing punches, especially, you start wide out, you break a hand or something, hitting a helmet. I hate to see that part of it, but I do like the fiery competitor that we're seeing from Malik Neighbors early.
Do any coaches not like fighting? I mean, obviously they have to say they don't like it, and you got to say, hey, we got to be disciplined. We cannot do this during a game, which, yeah, we know. We know I can't be punching dudes in the head during a game. I'm getting thrown out. I'm getting fined. But, I mean, every coach has to like the fact that they're competitive enough and that they at least want to see you stand up for your teammates if one of your teammates gets jacked by other teams.
You do. You just don't want to crawl. Don't
be taking helmets off and smashing dudes' faces, I guess.
Don't go across the line. At some point, I know when we were playing, at least, coaches start kicking guys out of practice. Hey, the next guy throws a punch or starts a fight, you're out of practice, you're done. Some guys maybe, all right,
perfect.
Kind of hot and tired. Get thrown out of this shit. But this is what's going to happen. At training camp, another team, another uniform shows up. Somebody's talking shit. It's a little different than your teammate. It's almost like you fight differently with people outside your home than you fight with your brothers. Your siblings, you may toss them around a little bit. Once you get outside the house, it's a little bit different. So obviously it's the off season. We're going to make a big deal of it. These type of fights are a big deal, but I'm itching for this real season to get started. Obviously, we got a bunch of football coming up these next Thursdays, Sundays, and throughout. So I'm excited about it. This makes me a little more excited about it, honestly.
Oh yeah, only 30 days left, E-Butt. But Tony might have a better grasp on when this will be, but the Chargers having their first joint practice is going to be a massive deal, strictly because when this stuff comes up and Harbaugh has to talk about it, like think about how Harbaugh is going to approach the, practice fighting. Because, I think we do have the Dayball, because Danny Dimes talked about him getting involved in that entire fight, and then Dayball kind of went into it as well. But once we get, here's what Dayball said about Danny Dimes.
Yeah, I saw the play that happened.
Is that Dayball?
Again, really don't want anybody getting in the piles during practice. Understand what it is.
Looks tan too.
Hey,
kind of stood back and I said,
chameleon, man.
So, my guy's down on the ground. I said, all right, just stay out, okay?
He's smiling. He likes that his quarterback wants to mix it up a little bit. Make sure you take care of that right hand. Don't be punching anybody's helmet and breaking your knuckle, right?
Yeah, of course. But Dayball also, Dayball strikes me as the guy that says that, but in the locker room, he's like, that's right.
Oh, yeah. He's going to say, this is the turn. This is when our team made the turn. Like, this is when I knew all of a sudden we were going to have a squad. When I saw our starting QB getting paid all this money, going in there and protecting his teammates, like, that's what he's going to use to kind of springboard the rest of this squad, I think.
Dan Jones is a different guy now, too. It's not just him getting involved, but guy's got a beard in his press conference. Like, he heard everything everyone was saying about him all off season the last several years. Hey, this guy looks just like a big dumb dipshit.
Who said that?
A lot of people have said that. He dresses, off the rack from Old Navy. He said, you know what? Yeah. I'm gonna grow a beard. I'm gonna go put my head into a fight. And I'm going to let everybody know, there's a reason I'm a starting quarterback in the New York Football Giants, because I like to get my nose dirty. And who knows? We might be talking very differently about Dan Jones about 6 months from now.
Different person, but kind of like when Scheffler grew his beard.
Yeah, very similar.
Scoot Scheffler is a whole different person with that beard.
You think he's got the big dragon full back tat like Ben Affleck has?
Maybe.
He should.
What if he did?
Ben Affleck.
He kind of comes off as a guy that you never see him with his shirt off. And one time you see him with his shirt off.
Everywhere. Yeah. Everywhere. Oh, yeah, maybe he is. Maybe Dan Jones is the new guy. I don't know.
I could see it.
Look at that. Look at that.
He does look sweet.
That's a franchise quarterback.
He does look sweet.
A T-shirt, too?
He's setting the tone. He's a leader. Bigger than me, right? And the me is actually smaller.
Bingo.
He does look an awful lot like Mitt, though, which is kind of throwing me for a loop.
Really?
Yeah, it's Mitt and Bone together. But
people love Mitt. Everyone says how handsome Mitt is.
I don't know. What did he say in this?
What does he say? Do we have it?
I didn't actually hear what he said.
I don't know. We do have it. That's why we should listen to it.
Yeah, let's see. We'll pod that thing back up and see what Danny Jones has to say here.
A little bit there on the skirmish earlier in practice.
I don't know. Situation happens like that. You try to stand up for your guys, but I thought it was good competitive practice.
He blacked out. Just
all day today, and we made some plays and did some good things. There's some things we need to shore up for sure, but Good intensity and competitive spirit today.
You can tell the reason he didn't grow his beard out is you can see there on the left side of his face, he's got that patch that doesn't grow hair very well. That's why it's been taking this long.
You think he's like self-conscious about that?
I think that's why.
Patch?
Yeah, I think that's why we haven't seen bearded DJ yet.
Yeah. It's a new guy.
It's clear.
It looks good though. The rest of the beard looks amazing.
Looks great.
I mean, he should go goatee, I think. He's got a strong goatee going. And if he were.
He shaves that off into a goatee, he's going to instantly look 25 years older. Like, goatees make younger people look very old, I feel like.
Yeah, exactly. And all of a sudden, obviously, I shot at Dayball, but he looks across and he sees MCDC with his goatee. And he's like, holy shit, I could probably bring that energy to the New York Football Giants.
Why did Dan Campbell say he's a chameleon? Because his weight fluctuated?
Yeah.
That's what
changed how he looks.
He wasn't lying. I saw Dave today, I think, with Shreg. Shreg posted a picture. We'll probably show on the other side, but he looks like a new guy.